Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Hope all is well. Welcome to Heart of Christ Ministry. I'm your host, Shaun Roberto Grant. Shaun Robert Grant. Reverend Shaun Robert Grant. I keep forgetting the Reverend, but it's right there. So anyway, hope all is fantastic today. Got a fabulous message ready, waiting in the wings, did some notes on it beforehand. And wow, 14 people just popped up online. Um, got a lot of really, really good stuff there for you today. And the thing that I'm most excited about is sharing some insight with you on some stuff that is going to be absolutely wonderful in every single sense of the word. And today we're going to talk about earning potential, but not in the sense that you have discovered it to be. Okay. We're going to go a little bit deeper with that here in just a few moments. But first, we're going to start off with, if you have any type of feedback, anything you want to say to Heart of Christ Ministry, anything you want to let us know, to just express yourself, whatever it may be, please write to us at ShaunG04@gmail.com, and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Yes, y'all. We will do that as soon as we can. But yeah, feel free to write to us. And on top of that, if you feel that this ministry has benefited you in any way, shape, or form at any point in time today or in the past 2 years since we've started, please donate to us. VENMO, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, ShaunG04@gmail.com. Zelle is the exact same way. Cash App. If you really want to donate, we can put it into the comments. I can put it into the comments and you can donate that way. I thought about this. I thought long and hard about it. And it's something that I really want to continue to do. So if by some chance you feel led through love to give today, what we're going to do, we're going to reward you with the Endless Prosperity Pack. Why? Because it is such a valuable tool to have. Okay. And it's 5 videos covering the deepest and best topics on prosperity. And it's yours with any gift you decide to give. So I'll tell you, if you decide to give, it can be $5, $10, $100, $5,000, whatever much you decide to give to the ministry. You will be rewarded with the Endless Prosperity Pack, and I will send that to you right on over. Okay. So with that being said, guys, let's get into the message today. You ready? Heart of Christ Ministry 2022, how to manifest your highest earning potential, right? And I got dollar signs behind the earning. Why? Because it's about creating more prosperity in your life. Okay. Creating more prosperity in your life. Right. And so when we think of earning potential, if you look at the description, we get to this place where we instantly go to jobs. We instantly go to, everything outside of ourselves. But if you've been following us for a long time, what you'll understand and know and be completely aware of is this. Okay. Earning potential has absolutely little to do what's on the outside of us and has everything to do with what's on the inside. Okay. I'm going to say that for you one more time. Earning potential has little to do with anything that's on the outside of you, but it has everything to do with what's going on within, from the heart's perspective, from the spirit's perspective, from the conscious awareness perspective, the consciousness that is you. That's what it comes down to when it comes to manifesting the highest earning potential. And today we're going to rock and roll with that. We're going to get into it, and we're going to show you so many different insights that you can use right now to really start accessing and applying your earning potential. Okay. So here is the deal, right? Let's get right into it. Earning potential. Number one, highest earning potential. Your greatest earning potential starts with your self-worth, your self-love, and your self-confidence, right? And what is self-worth? Self-worth is basically what you believe that you deserve. And so because this is a ministry geared on spirituality, we really need to think about what the divine says about us. What does the God in us say about us? And the results are endless as far as the truth about how dynamically wonderful we are. Now, once you realize that, you got to get to that space where you know it to be true. And how do you do that? You self-talk, you affirm, you write it down, you say it before you go to bed. When you close your eyes and you go to bed and you're going to sleep, you do an incantation or an affirmation or a mantra, right? And every day and every way I'm getting better and better. Or you say something like, God in me is expressing all of the wonderful attributes that is my divine birthright, something like that. Like that just kind of filtered through. But this is how you build your self-worth. And then when you get into the world, you know what you do? You don't budge, right? You get into the world and you demand, and I'm not saying like I demand, no, within you demand, right? What you believe that you're truly worth. And I tell you, when you believe it in here, everybody else is going to believe it out there. It never, ever fails. Okay. Now, that's self-worth in a nutshell. We can go further on it, but we'll do that in the future episodes. But then we talk about self-love, right? And self-love is how much you love yourself. And you can tell how much you love yourself by the way that you operate throughout the day, right? First thing you do whenever you wake up, that will initially tell you how much you really love yourself, right? Are you focusing on other people? Are you focusing on yourself? The very first thing I do before I get out of bed is I meditate. And I do what we call acupressure, which allows my energy to clear itself so I can feel lighter as I move throughout the day, right? So what type of self-love practices are you implementing throughout your life? When let's say you're having breakfast or you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, are you eating food that nourishes you, or are you eating food that kind of tears you down a bit, right? So it's one of those things, and self-love is endless. There's endless ways to show that you are loving yourself in a properly unconditional, dynamic sort of way, right? But what it really comes down to is understanding that I deserve the very best. Because self-worth and self-love are kind of interchangeable, but self-love is just reiterating, right? I deserve the absolute very best in my life, and I refuse to settle for anything else, right? And I always try, not do or do not. There's no try. I never try. I always do what I need to do to experience the very best in my life, no matter what it is, right? When I go to the grocery store, I'm buying the best stuff for me, right? When I go to, to work out, or I'm going to a gym or something like that, I'm making sure I'm doing the very best workouts that I can. And why is that? Because all of this contributes to me being the very best person that I can be, to me being the most wonderfully dynamic, prosperous individual that I can be. And it helps my earning potential. That's what it comes down to. It helps my earning potential. And when we talk about earning potential, we're not just talking about money. We're talking about resources. We're talking about the ability to step into environments that you didn't really have the chance to get into before because you weren't vibrating, right, at a level that allowed you to be in a space to where you felt comfortable, right? That's where self-worth and self-love comes in, right? Now, self-confidence. Self-confidence is taking all three of these and saying, effing right, I belong here. I belong here. I belong at the top. I belong, right? I belong. And so that understanding of I belong with the best, I am the best. See, confidence is always about understanding the truth of who you are, right? That's what confidence is about. So when we have that self-confidence, when we have that ability to really know and to understand, but in a sustainable way, that we can show up, we can be present, and we can do our very best no matter what it is. Guess what's going to happen, right? It's going to reflect to other people. And then you'll have other people giving you other opportunities. You'll have with opportunities comes earning potential. And before you know it, you know what happens is that you become so rooted in, like I keep saying, the truth, because that's important, the truth of who you are. And you become rooted in the truth of the confidence that you possess, that it becomes second nature. It becomes something that opens you up to the idea of being able to do what you love and do it easily. And I kind of jumped the gun a bit, but the reason I mentioned do what you love is because when you do what you love, you're not only going to have all the confidence in the world, you're going to have an extraordinary earning potential, right? So self-worth, self-love, self-confidence, we call it the trifecta. Build those three, whatever you got to do to get it. I'm telling you, it starts there. That's why that's number one. Moving on to number two. Your greatest potential, your greatest earning potential starts with faith and trust in the divine presence within you. Divine presence within you is just God, right? It's God. Understanding, when I have complete faith and trust within God, within myself, let me tell you something. As Shannon said, let me tell you something, Skip. That breaks down every single barrier that could ever stop me from divinely expressing as the highest potential being that I can be. And what that means is that I can take it as high and as far as I desire to go. Why? Because I have faith, right? And if you listen a couple episodes ago, you might have heard me say my greatest wealth is not the money, not the investments, not all the acting jobs and stuff that's been coming through, whatever. The greatest form of wealth for me, and I feel like for everybody, but personally for me, I can only speak for myself, is my faith, my trust, and my intuition, right? My faith and my trust in the God in me, and being able to follow that guidance. And you know how you build it? You just talk. You consistently, every chance you get, no matter how big a decision is or how small a decision is, you find that time to get silent and you talk to that divine presence within you, and you have faith and you ask it for the simplest things. It could be regular coffee or decaf coffee, and wait for the guidance to come through. Because here's what happens. My nose itches. What happens is, if the more we exercise that muscle, right? The more we exercise that muscle, the more we're going to find and see how impressive, right? Or sorry, not even, well, it is impressive, but how easy. The more we're going to find how easy, okay, it is to listen to the truth of what is transpiring. All right. And that's, in all truth and honesty, that's the dynamic essence and power of having complete faith and trust in yourself. Right. And you're like, okay, well, where does earning potential come from that? Because here's the thing. The essence of God, the essence of God's presence, the divine within you, that is the highest energy that you can ever tap into, that you can ever conjoin yourself with, and that can ever expand as energy, right? So when it expands in that way, what's going to happen is it's going to magnify, or sorry, be completely magnetic to all those things, i.e. earning potential, resources, money, ideas. Like, that's something that we kind of overlook a lot because we're just looking for the physical stuff. But then we got to understand the thoughts that actually come through our consciousness when we have just a faith and a trust within the divine presence within us, right? It's the difference between succeeding on a high level and kind of just getting by and struggling, right? You got to remember, it all starts in here and it all starts there, right? Faith, trust, mindset, consciousness, that ability is dynamic when it comes to our greatest earning potential, right? And so the beauty is when faith is held in consciousness long enough, when faith and trust in the divine is held in conscious long enough, here's what happens, right? And when I say long enough, I don't mean that you're forcing. I don't mean that you're in this place where you're like, you're trying, because I used to do that, right? What it entails, faith and trust, what it entails is the vibration is authentic. See, the universe can't move for us in an epic capacity unless the vibration is authentic. And when I mean authentic, I mean honest. I mean not fabricated, right? So you tell yourself, you get down to the root of it. I call this vibrational clarity. What is the greatest reason for me to have faith and trust in the divine presence within myself? And it's not that you're being selfish, but you're just being honest, because honesty vibrates the highest, right? And if you have that authentic vibration, you're going to see the universe deliver not only in a divinely ordered sort of way, but in a faster capacity, because truth vibrates the fastest. Honesty vibrates the fastest. Authenticity, brain fart there for a second. Authenticity vibrates the fastest, right? When you're along the lines of all of those, you're vibrating at a high speed, and things that vibrate at a high speed are usually the most enjoyable things in life, because that's where you want to be. You always want to vibrate the highest. Okay. Faith and trust in the divine. Okay. And now, so we take 1 and 2. So I'm gonna go back to 1 real quick, right? Greatest earning potential starts with self-worth, self-love, self-confidence. Bam, you got those within. If not, work on them. Definitely, it can prove to be one of the most valuable commitments you can ever choose to commit to. And then we get to 2, and we understand, right? Faith and trust within the divine presence within you. This is actually number 1 for me. I started with the faith and trust, and then I built on the other ones from there. But, faith and trust in the divine presence within you, with God, the all that is, whatever you want to call it, same essence, is always there. And then we move to number 3. Your greatest earning potential starts with always doing what you love, right? So I mentioned something a few moments ago called vibrational clarity, okay? And vibrational clarity allows you to get to the most authentic, truest, honest vibration you can. Why? Because we just said the universe can deliver in a quicker capacity when it's authentic, right? And what does that mean? When it's authentic, when it's honest, it's true, it's genuine, it's not forced, right? When you love doing something, there's a draw to it. There's a pull, right? Not a like, hey, but a like an easeful pull when you love something. And it does not matter what it is, right? That's the truth. Sometimes we're taught, well, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. With that, don't. If you ever hear somebody say that can't make any money, be like, and cover your ears, because the truth of the matter is, who are you to decide what God placed in me if it's going to make any money or not? Right? That's not for them to decide. Now, if you take their advice and you believe in it, guess what? It's not going to make any money. But the truth of the matter is, and this is why people who do what they love wind up just doing so well, right? There's a science to this. When you love to do something, your vibration is as genuine, sincere, and authentic and honest as it gets. And I mean, it's something where you look forward to doing it every single day of your life, right? And at times it's stronger, And at times it's not so much, but still there's always a pull to it, right? So I'll give you my example. So once COVID hit in 2020, the beginning of that year, I had set my sights on being a speaker, on being a traveling speaker and going around and just helping people, lifting the consciousness and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden we know, bam, the pandemic hits. And all of a sudden that entire objective, that entire goal just got wiped out, right? And everything was done online because everybody was on lockdown pretty much for the most part, right? So I sat, I want to say for a few weeks, and I just didn't sit there, but I went within and I needed to rehash, okay, what do I love to do? And I just felt this pull towards fitness, right? And I still wanted to be a speaker, but I didn't know how to do it. But then I felt this pull towards fitness. And then I realized, okay, people are gaining massive amounts of weight, being stuck in the house, eating all the stuff in the pantry. I'm going to do an online workout. I'm going to do an online workout that takes them to an experience that's similar to being in the gym, yet they're going to do it from their own homes. And I had all my equipment. I had my camera. I had my tripod set up. And I started doing this. And I did it by donation alone. And let me tell you, the earning potential that came out of it was, I don't want to say insane because it was divinely guided, but it was amazing, right? At a time where it seemed like it was impossible to make any amount of income, right? To have any type of earnings, unless you were a civil service worker or something like that, because everything got shut down. Everything got shut down. What wound up happening is I was just drawn to something I love. And I did that. I did that for like literally, I want to say it started in March. I went all the way, I want to say to like August or September. And then when August or September came around, I think I shut it down at like, we did like 71 workouts or something like that, something insane. But it was amazing. I loved every minute of it. And then when I didn't feel that draw to it anymore, I said, okay, Spirit is leading me towards something else. And so, bam, here you go. I'm being led towards something else. Heart of Christ Ministry is born, right? And you know what I did? I felt that pull. I felt that draw towards being able to uplift people, inspire people, encourage people, especially at that time in the realm of money. Like one of the things I hated with a passion is poverty, right? And not only was I going to help them with their money, like we talked yesterday, poverty means mentally and emotionally broken, right? Mentally and emotionally broken. And so I wanted to make sure that I could do my part to help people out of that rut, right? And help with their mental health and everything else. And so basically, these instances tell us that when you, me, everybody decides to start doing or to continue to do what they love and truly love, right? Like truly love. I mean, from the core of your being, it could be something you realize as a young kid and you're 60 right now, yet you still want to do that thing. That love, and I got to explain the science behind this. That love will allow you to do greater than you could have ever thought imaginable. This is why if you got kids, encourage your kids to follow what they love doing. Don't think about how much money it's paying right now. See, a lot of times with the stuff we love, the real earning potential isn't till down the road. Like you realize as an actor, how much you have to like study sometimes and like go to class and sometimes you got to go to school and all this stuff. And then it pays off, right? Unless you just look like a statue and they just, hey, I want to put you in my movie, right? It didn't happen to me. I can tell you that much. But ultimately, like when kids find something they love, encourage them. Adults, encourage them, right? Sometimes the highest earning potential is not evident in the beginning, but the sincerity, the genuineness, the love, the authenticity behind that vibration, man, it's building up an energy that's going to have an enormous payoff. And I promise you, I've been fortunate enough to experience that in a multitude of areas in my short life, right? Only 40. I've experienced it in a multitude of areas when I just say, you know what? I love doing this. And I just jump into it and I start doing it. And you know what happens? It pays off. The earning potential expands because I have a genuine, sincere love for it. And I keep saying that, but it's so important to understand the truth behind all of that. You know what I'm saying? So your greatest earning potential starts with always doing what you love. Okay. And the reasoning behind that is that you just can't go wrong. Right? I'm here right now because I love doing this. I love doing this. It's creative. And I don't go into it saying, all right, who's going to give me some money today? No, I go into it saying, how many folks can I uplift? How many folks can I encourage? How many folks can I inspire and empower, right? To understand that their earning potential can start with them today without anything outside of themselves, right? That's what I start with. And you know what? In the long run, the payoff is huge, right? It's huge. Why? Because I started with something I genuinely love. And tell me, does this feel forced? Me sitting up here? No, right? I mean, if I was like, gotta go, you know, no, it's not forced. I'm having a good time with it. It's easeful. It's enjoyable, right? It's honest. It's authentic. And guess what? Because of that love, you become magnetic to not just money, right? Resources, opportunities, and remember, thoughts, right? Call them divine downloads, feelings, impressions that help you to, bam, take it to the next level in your life. But once again, don't let anybody decide for you. Find out what you love and go and do that thing and make it work. Even if you got to start by doing it a little bit at a time, make it work for yourself. You owe it to yourself. And I tell you, that ability, right? That ability is going to help you to rise to the highest level in your life possible, to the highest potential. Okay. I felt like I repeated myself a bunch, but you know what? It's all good because that's what we have to know. That's what we have to completely be aware of. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gents, that wraps up our message today. Man, you know, we started, I think it's like 40 people on there today. That was amazing. Thank you guys, all of you, for joining today. It's really, really appreciative of that. But yeah, so if you have any feedback about this, and this is one of those messages where there can be a lot of questions, I am wide open. Send me a message. Send us a message at Heart of Christ Ministry, and we'll get back to you and answer it from a divine perspective, a divine place that allows us to give you insight that maybe you didn't have beforehand. So once again, it's all love. We're here to help. We're happy to help. It makes all the difference in the world. ShaunG04@gmail.com. Write to us, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. My microphone. Okay. And so if you found this message beneficial, which I did, and it's funny because I get more out of it as I teach it, donate. VENMO Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, ShaunG04@gmail.com, Zelle, ShaunG04@gmail.com, and then Cash App and anything else that you might want to donate with. We can set that up for you if you decide. What else I was going to say? Yeah, but make sure when you do that, you do it through love, and love alone, because that authentic, genuine, sincere vibration is going to pay off for you, right? That's what matters. And if you do decide to give any gift to the Heart of Christ Ministry, we're going to lay the Endless Prosperity Pack on you. Endless Prosperity Pack. Going to lay it on you here. And what that is 5 amazing videos. 5 amazing videos that get to the deepest part of prosperity, that takes you from 0 to unlimited prosperity, wealth, and abundance in a matter of a short period of time. I don't know if it's days, because you know what? It just depends on what clicks and what you capture, but there's a lot of stuff to capture there. And it's a great tool to study with. And guess what? It's yours with any gift that you offer today. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. It's always a blessing to be with you today. And I'm just happy to be back doing these, because this is fun. I love it. I love helping people. And the amazing thing is, it's going to be here for a long period of time, until I decide to get up in that great good enough morning, whatever. That's what my grandmother used to call it. Yeah, I'll be doing these for a long time. So thank you so much for being here today and spending the time that you did with us. And trust we'll be back. So with that being said, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Every dream begins with a vision that sees everything before anyone else ever can. A vision that ignites the endless power to make all your dreams come true. Your truth